Hello, everyone. Good morning. Hope everyone enjoying the show. So, first of all, before to start, I would like to thank you, Park Street. We did work with Park Street with Italicus. We did work with Park Street with Savoia, and I have to say they're very professional, they're very flexible, and they're cost efficient. So, if any of you think about to launch your brand in US, definitely should talk to Park Street. Okay. Let's start a little bit about the topic of today. So, cordials, liqueur. How did he start it? How did he raise? Probably not many of people they are aware that cordials or liqueurs for the last 20 years, it was a declining category. It was a very dusty, old category that nobody want to play in. And everybody was just playing on the price position. So try to give a discount, a promo, instead of bringing value into the category. So what we did in 2016, I was already consulting for some brands in terms of new product development. And always I got to a point where somebody want to compromise for cost of goods. Let's try to make the closure a little bit cheaper. Let's try to maximize or minimize the cost on a bottle, on a color, on a brand. So I said, you know what? I'm tired of all of this. I'm going to do my brand as I want it. And I want to play it at the top premium positioning. I want Italicus to be the equivalent of Ferrari, Ducati, or Armani from Italy, and to play the same kind of made in Italy brand. So before even to launch the brand was launched on the 1st of September 2016. I went to pitch for some investment. Probably I got some entrepreneur or business people here in the room. So when you launch your own startup, your own company, you have two main priorities. One is financial stability. So you need to raise cash in order to keep on going. And second, you need to have consistency in your brand. So you need to have distribution and consistency available to the markets. So in terms to raise some capital, I went to pitch to a big executive from a large spirits company, which I'm not going to name off. And I went there, and probably somebody has been in this kind of position where you need to pitch to sell your brand, to sell your idea, to sell your passion. And you got that 10, 12 minutes that you got to sell everything. So I'm going there and I'm presenting the brand. I say it's all on presentation. I didn't have any bottle yet, just a little bit of the liquid. And the guy after 10 minutes, he looked at me. So Giuseppe, let me get this one right. You want to launch a liqueur, a cordial, which is a declining category. It was declining minus 12% the year before. In a very expensive cost of goods packaging. Use a Latin name, Italicus, nobody speaks Latin, and a flavor profile, bergamot, citrus, orange, which nobody knows what it is. And look at me, trust me, I got a lot of experience in this industry. It's a kamikaze project. Don't do it. Go and do something else, do your consulting, open your bar, but brand is not for you. It was an extra motivation for me to keep moving forward. And remember, guys, before you're going to have a successful project or business, you always need to failure or always you need to have some challenge beforehand. If you don't, there is something wrong with the project. So before you're launching your own brand, I always like to apply what I call the devil advocates rules. You need to think about the worst case scenario. You need to think about it. If it's not going to work, what you have to do. Because you're going to get in that position sooner or later. So get ready. From there, we went in to launch Italicus in 2016, 1st of September. And in the first 12 months, so 1st of September 2016 to 2017, Italicus was awarded Best Product of the Year at Tales of the Cocktail in New Orleans, European New Product of the Year here in Berlin at the Bar Awards, Best New Product of the Year in Italy, in UK, in Spain and Portugal. Something which never happened before in the spirits industry. Not even magic brands like Hendrix or Del Maguey, Vida Mezcal or Saint Germain. All brands which we use it as a benchmark, they've never been able to achieve so many awards all around the world in a year one. By September to December 2016, we were already available in 9 markets. By September to September, in 12 months, we were available in 24 markets across the world. And trust me, I didn't make one single phone call to try to distribute in the markets. It was demand coming directly from distributor in each market. What we did instead, we came to bar show like Berlin Bar Convent, where we could find contact that we could get in touch with other markets or other distributors. And that's what I call the phenomenon. Phenomenon why? Because It's a very rare what happened to the brand such as Italicus. It was so disruptive, it was so new, it was so different that everybody was attracted by attention. In a good and bad way, in a positive and negative way, you need to take it as it is. But it was okay. Lots of people, they will come to me, it's like, yeah, why don't leave a bottle for me to tasting? It's like, yeah, it's a little bit expensive. I cannot afford to leave a bottle in every single bar. So I had to find a different way how to give samples. And everybody was challenging the price position. Like, why so expensive? Why so expensive? And I was replying to them, do you know how much it costs a fresh bergamot fruits? Do you know what does it mean having a 100% a natural product? You know what does it mean to design this kind of bottle and to produce this bottle? Early on, Quintini mentioned about the increased cost of goods in the last 12 months has been absolutely a nightmare. You probably cannot see, I got lots of gray hair. Most of them, they're coming from cost of goods. Then, one tip that I will give to everyone, when you launch your own brand, you got your startup, you have a very small team, you have a limited resources, you got to focus. I see a lots of startup, a lots of new brands, a lots of colleagues, which they introduce one product, one brand, and then in a year, 2 years, they already are 2, 3, 4 down the line. It's very difficult to manage all that logistic. It's very difficult to manage all that platform. So focus on what you need to build. The goal was to build the most premium Italian aperitivo brand. So the focus was like, how can we create an emotional link with the consumer and with the bartenders, which they will buy the brands, not just because of the price, not just because of the flavor profile, but because it doesn't mean something to them. So in our office in London, our HQ is in London, we call it these kind of words, focus, which stands for follow one course until success. And stop messing around. Mainly when you're going to have some early success, early days, everybody's going to approach you and try to sell you everything. Why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? I'm going to buy 5,000 bottles. I'm going to buy 10,000 bottles. Forget it. Stay focused on your ultimate goal. We are trying to build the ultimate Italian aperitivo brand, still today. From the flip side, I put a little picture of there, of what success means. It's always nice to be on stage, to speak with people, to collect awards, and everybody look at you like, oh, look how successful it is. Today this year we went over 1 million bottles produced with Italicus. For everybody, oh, look at what the big numbers. Yes, but you also need to consider everything else what is down there. So first of all, is hard work. If you decide to own your own company, your own business, it's 24/7. I have a beautiful wife and 2 wonderful kids. But trust me, my business is my second marriage. And if it's not going to succeed, it's going to cost me more than a divorce. Then, you need to have persistence, focus. It got to be a lot of late nights, a lot of traveling, a lot of weekend that you need to give up. And trust me, when you have 2 small kids and a wife at home, you don't want to travel during the weekend. Well, you have to compromise. Nobody else is going to do it instead of yourself. So take the bull by the horn. You need to pull. You don't need to get pushed. Then a lot of people, they're going to reject. They will say they don't believe in your brand. They don't like it. But they're just they don't want to deal with you. That's fine. Move on. That's life. Then you need to make, a lot of people, they don't like these words. You got to make a lot of sacrifice. It is what it is. Still today, I'm traveling economy class everywhere in the world to show my team that commitment, I need to lead as an example. So a lot of people, when they see a little bit of success, they're trying to behave like a little superstar. We are not superstar. We are not inventing nothing new here. We just work in hospitality industry, so we try to make people happy. Then you need to have a discipline, very strong discipline. Everybody loves to go out. Everybody loves to have a drink. It's absolutely fine. But then the morning later, you got to wake up 8 o'clock. You need to switch on your laptop. You need to reply emails. You need to do phone calls. You need to make payments. You need to follow up with the suppliers. You need to give the right instruction to your team. You cannot go around and do late night all night long, all year long. At some point, you need to give a discipline to yourself. There is one tip I can give you guys. Sport, it doesn't help. Try to go in the morning for a little run. You will see in the evening, you're not going to be too late. Then, criticism. Of course, lots of people, they're going to criticize you. for whatever you do. That's called democracy in the world. Everybody has an opinion, and they're very much free and welcome to have an opinion. It doesn't mean that it's going to affect your ultimate goal. That's why, remember guys, stay focused. Remember what is your ultimate goal, and that's what you need to get to. Then, at some point, when things are not going to work, example, during the COVID, you're starting to have some doubts. What's going on? What's going to happen? And if they're not going to reopen, if they're going to cancel the contract, if I'm not going to be able to do a production again, it's not easy. So you need to go through that one. How? You need to apply creativity, and you need to have full positivity for yourself. And you need to also spread it with your team. You cannot be the one that is going to spread around doubts about your own business or your own brand. Then, failure. Failure is acceptable. We all have to fail at some point in the business. Otherwise, we're never going to learn anything. What is the most important thing is that when we fail, we take all the learnings and we apply it to the next project. We don't just leave it there. It's absolutely acceptable. It's fine. Just don't be depressed because you've been failing in one project. There is another project. Let's go do something else. Last but not least, you have to be ready to take risk. Running your own business means taking risk every day. You need to jump from a legal decision to a financial decision to an HR decision to a distribution decision. And this one in one day. And you need to feel confident to take decision. Therefore, you're going to take some risk. But if you don't take risk, then there is no fun. Then, remember, for me, it's also very important that the ultimate result is important as the journey to get there. We have to enjoy it. We all went through the COVID. It looks like it was 3 decades ago. It was only 2 years ago. And you can see how it could be a really dark time. So it's important that we enjoy what we do every day in order to achieve that result. So the result is the ultimate vision that helped me to wake up every morning to get there, but also because every day I enjoy what I do. This industry is about human relationship. And I worked behind the bar. I own my bar. I run a bar. I worked for a corporation. I worked as brand ambassador, and now I'm a brand owner. I changed my hats many, many times, and I still love this industry. It's fun. It's passionate. And those are my 10 rules that I want to share with you about your own journey, how to launch your brand. Vision. You got to be driven. You need to apply speed, because the only advantage you have if you're a small brand is to be more flexible and more agile than big corporation. Flexibility. You need to adapt yourself. So also in the strategy, you need to be flexible. It doesn't mean that just because you are designed as an on-trade brand, that's the only strategy that you can apply. Maybe in some markets, off-trade is going to work. You got to be able to make decision at any time, at any point of the day. And remember what I said before, it's 24/7. You got to work on the weekend as well. Sometimes I'm on the sofa at home at 11 o'clock in the evening. I still need to pick up the phone and make some decision. That's fine. Then you need to have a sense of urgency. There is one thing that I really cannot stand when I see people working and they have no sense of urgency. It looks like that the whole world out there is waiting for them to get the job done or the task done. I always worked and lived my life with a sense of urgency. I want to wake up every day. I want to make sure that I maximize the 24 hours I have in a day. And here we go, 24/7. When you run your own business, it's all year long. You're never going to be Christmas. It's never going to be your birthday. You're always at work. Passion, commitment, and reputation. This is very important because that means that we're going to build a legacy that is going to go above and beyond yourself. And that's the most important thing. That's my second chapter with Italicus. Try to build a team, a brand that can go above and beyond myself. But just don't get too bored or too comfortable. In 2021, we also launched Savoia, our new brand. And the reason why we launched Savoia, as early on Emmett mentioned, I worked for vermouth brands for many, many, many years. And so vermouth aperitif is my first love. And I see a lot of vermouth brands, they're all talking about the history, beautiful packaging, all the botanicals. Well, if you know vermouth 75 to 80%, it's wine. Why nobody speaks about wine? Why nobody's telling me exactly what kind of wine they're using? So I launched Savoia with the aim that is going to be the first ever wine aperitif, which we're going to be focusing on very disruptive wine base. So you have the Rosso, the red version, which is based on Marsala DOC 14 months aged wine, cask barrique. And the second one we just introduced here at Berlin Bar Convent this week, which is Orancho, which is made with 100% natural and biodynamic orange wine. Nothing like that exists in the markets. So the common link between Italicus and Savoia, be disruptive, be different, and be yourself. Thank you.